If you want to be able to put on lean muscle mass as a skinny guy while working a 9 to 5, you have to understand the 5 core pillars behind it. See, getting jacked and shredded is almost like a house. This is the pinnacle. This is what everybody sees and the eventual goal that you want to get, but you have to understand a house has a foundation and has different levels that allows you to get that goal. And when I was super skinny, I'll put up a picture right here. I didn't understand these things. I was going to the gym, I was half-assing it, I wasn't sure how to eat, how to track my meals. I didn't know what was going on, and that is why I never reached that goal. And I'm still working towards that goal, but now I have a clear understanding of how to get there and how to help other people through the trials and the tribulations, okay? So you have to understand that getting jacked and shredded, it's a house, right? Nobody just wakes up one morning and they're jacked, they're shredded, and they look good and they feel their best, right? It's a process. You have to take the time to get there, and you have to build a house. If you think about someone who's building a house, it doesn't just pop up overnight. A mansion just doesn't randomly appear in the middle of the night, right? It takes time. You have to build roots. You have to build a strong foundation. First step is understanding that diet is the foundation to literally everything. If your diet is not right, you are messing up and you are not going to be able to get to this goal, right? This is the end goal, but you have to build your goal on the foundation. You have to start with putting roots in the ground, and your diet is the roots. In my opinion, diet literally makes up 50 to 60% of this entire equation. So if you get this right, everything else will come easy. And what you need to get right about it is the type of foods that you are eating every single day, right? It doesn't matter the amount, it doesn't matter the quantity. To an extent, it does, because if you're a skinny guy, you should obviously be eating in a calorie surplus to get to where you want to go, but you should know that already. If you don't know that already, then this is a newsflash for you, that if you want to reach a certain goal or get to a certain weight, you must be eating in a calorie surplus in order to gain weight of about 300 to 500 calories every single day in a surplus. Now that we got that out the way, just because you have to reach that caloric number, whatever that number is, doesn't mean you should go out and eat whatever type of foods, because that is not going to give you the result that you want, right? You're going to end up looking skinny fat, and you're going to end up looking like the guys who go to the gym but don't look like they go to the gym. That is not our end goal here. Our end goal is to be jacked and shredded, and you do that through having the right foundation. And the right foundation is ground beef, eggs, and jasmine rice every single day. And specifically, 1.5 pounds of ground beef, 80-20, 8 eggs, and then 1 cup of uncooked jasmine rice. This right here is going to literally get you to your goals if you do this every single day. This is the foundation, right? Obviously, after you have this staple as your diet, you want to add in things like fruits, maybe some raw milk, avocados, things of that nature to keep your glycogen stores in check, but you're going to have a lot of carbs already just from this, right? This is what is going to get you to where you want to go. And the reason why is because this diet is very high in cholesterol and healthy fats. If you did not know, cholesterol is the precursor to producing testosterone. And so if you want to be jacked and shredded, what you need to do is you need to have higher testosterone. This is where I was messing up as a skinny guy in my younger days. I wasn't focusing on the testosterone levels. I was just focusing on the foods and the quantity to be able to get there. And even though I was eating the quantity of foods, my skin was still breaking out. I didn't feel my best. I didn't look my best. I went to the gym, but I was still skinny. My muscles weren't ever developed at all. And it was because my foundation was wrong. So this is where you must start out at. You must start with a good foundation. If you are going to build your house on the sand, it is going to fall and it is going to crumble. But if you build your house like a smart man on the rock, it is going to be sturdy, and when the winds come and the storm comes, you will be still hanging up, okay? So that is the goal we want. We want to have a good foundation, and this is the foundation. If you do this, this is about 3,000 calories, which is almost enough for a lot of you guys to be in that surplus. Obviously, if you're a skinnier guy, your metabolism is going to be higher, and so we want to manipulate some of these numbers to be able to reach that caloric surplus goal that you might have. And if you have no idea what that goal is going to be, all you need to do is go into the TDEE calculator, look one up online, fill in your information, and then it'll spit out a number of what your daily energy expenditure is. Calories is expenditure, is energy expenditure, and so you have a certain amount of energy expenditure every single day based on your activity level, based on your age, your height, your weight, all of that different type of stuff. And so once you get that number, all you need to do is add 300 to 500 calories on there, and then make sure you start here with the foundation, and then all you're going to do is you're going to add a little bit of fruit here, a little bit of raw honey here, a little bit of raw milk here, and those things right there are going to get you to where you want to go. Don't add protein shakes, don't add chicken, don't add vegetables, because those foods are going to be low testosterone. Those foods are going to be binding to catabolic receptors in your body, and it's not going to allow you to produce the testosterone levels that you want to see. This is where I was messing up. Like I said before, as a skinny guy, I didn't care about the foundation. I just cared about reaching that number. So don't get caught up in the number. Get caught up in the type of food you're eating, and this is your baseline. 1.5 pounds of ground beef, 80-20 every single day, 8 large eggs every single day, and 1 cup of uncooked jasmine rice. If you do these 3 things every single day, and then add in the fruits, add in maybe a little more rice, add in maybe a little more ground beef, add in a couple more eggs, and boom, right there, you're going to be at your number, right? So that is where you need to start. This is where I started. I didn't know where to start, but I figured out that I was eating the wrong type of foods. And so once I put together a couple knowledge and a little bit of resource, I figured out, okay, this will get me to 3,000 calories easy. So if I start here and then add other stuff on top, I'll get to my goal. Number 2 is you have to focus on what time you are eating. Your meal times are very important, and they should be consistent every single day. Now, again, the biggest thing is just the foundation. What type of food you're eating, it's the foundation. Meal times, you know, you can manipulate it and you can get away with switching and doing different things, but you want to have a set routine. You want to have routines and have things in place that you're doing every single day, so it's repeatable, so it's easy, so your brain knows exactly what to do, right? When I set up this video and I was about to make this video, I cleared my space, I did all the things I need to do, so my brain knows exactly what to do, right? And so every single day, you want to have your brain and you want to have these routines dialed in so your brain knows exactly what to eat, exactly what to do, so you can get this result. So that is why meal times, there might not be the end all be all, but they are important. And this is why you should be eating 3 meals a day. It's simple. 3 meals a day, and make sure you are sticking with this foundation right here. So what I would do is I would eat 5 eggs in the morning, and then at night, I would cook up my dinner, or I'd cook up my dinner at night, and have lunch for the next day, cook up dinner and lunch for the next day. And so every single day I was eating the same thing, repeating it and repeating it, eating at the same times. Breakfast in the morning before work. Then I'd go to work and I'd have my lunch that I made the night before, and then I'd make dinner and make lunch for the next day. It's simple, it's repeatable, step after step after step. And every time I was making food, this is literally what I would make. 1.5 pounds of ground beef, 80-20, 8 eggs, 1 cup of uncooked rice. Every single night, that's what I was making, and that allowed me to put on weight, put on pounds, and all of that different type of stuff. And so what I did was I went from 165 to 193 in 1 year just simply by doing this, while staying shredded and while staying lean the entire time, right? Now I cut back a little bit and I'm down to like 186, but I'm eventually going to go back up. But now I know it's easy for me to go back up. I know exactly what to do. I know exactly what meal times, right? 3 meals a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. All you need to do is cook your dinner at night, cook these 3 things at night, right? Make eggs in the morning. Then when you get home from work or after you go to the gym, right? All you need to do is meal prep, eat your dinner, and meal prep for the next day. So this is what I cook every single night. And then I'd have lunch for the next day. So when I had my lunch break, I would go to work, I'd eat outside, and it was simple, right? You need to have simple, repeatable tasks and routines so your brain just gets used to it. So it's easy, right? Making money, a lot of people say making money is super mundane. A lot of people say getting jacked and shredded is super mundane. And it truly is. It's just about how you can show up day after day after day after day with the same routine. Number 3, obviously, is going to be your training, right? If you are not training, if you are not working out, you aren't going to reach this goal of getting jacked and shredded. It's just facts. It's just true, right? You need to be training. And if you're a skinny guy, you're working a corporate job, odds are you're pretty busy. Maybe you have kids, maybe you have different things going on, but you need to carve out this time for yourself every single day, okay? 5 to 6 days a week you should be training. And what I recommend, if you are a busy guy working your 9 to 5, maybe you have a girlfriend, maybe you have kids, right? You need to put yourself first regardless. No matter what age you are, you should be always focusing on getting better, always focusing on your mission, always focusing on doing something better every single day. And working out, eating the diet, being locked in on that is the number 1 best way to do it, right? It's simple, it's easy, you're gonna feel better, you're gonna look better, you'll perform better in your job. Everything will be better if you have outside of your job locked in, right? If you have the personal stuff locked in, you're going to be so much better in your job, right? And if you're in a sales role or a marketing role or in a role where it's performance based, where you can make more money depending on the work you put in, if you want to have higher energy, greater moods, being able to focus for longer amounts of time, it starts with what you do outside of work, right? If outside of work you eat bullshit food, you scroll on your phone all day, you don't have a set wake up time, you don't have a set bedtime, right? That is going to show in your job, right? Because you're not going to be focused, you're not going to have energy, you're not going to have greater mood, and that is just going to make everything crumble for you, right? You have to start with your personal development first, and that will allow your professional development to 10x. Okay, so that is what we want to start out with, and you got to be locked in with the training. Going to the gym is the best way for you to release stress, for you to relax, for you to put your energy, your bottled up energy that you have when you're at work, into something, right? And then after your training, you feel so much better, right? It always sucks having to go to the gym after a long day of work. I get it, I understand, but this will make you feel so much better after you release that stress. If you just keep bottling up, it's just gonna build up within you, and if you have nowhere to release it, nowhere to put it, it's gonna be impossible for you to get anything done on your day-to-day basis. So this is why you guys must train 5 days a week, right? 5 days a week of training. And you got to figure out the time, whether it's at lunch, whether it's in the morning, whether it's right after work. I recommend you guys train right after work, okay? You go to work, you pack a bag, you pack your gym clothes, you pack your pre-workout, and you just go right after work. You don't go home, you don't lollygag, you don't do X, Y, or Z. If you don't have any kids, if you don't have a girlfriend, even if you have a fucking girlfriend or a wife, if you don't have any kids or any real responsibilities after work, get your ass in the gym. Go. Pack your bag and go every single day, 5 days a week, right? Not every single day, but what I would recommend is you train Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, take Thursday off, Friday, Saturday. Boom, you got your schedule, Sunday off. That is all you need to do every single day. If you do these things right here, you're going to be there. You're going to be there. This is the foundation. Everything else, this stuff right here, it just makes the house look nice. You got your nice windows. You got your microwave, you got your fridge, all that other stuff makes it look nice. You got a nice couch, you got a nice TV, but this is the foundation. If you don't have this, you don't have a house. So you're never gonna get to here if you don't have this. This is what you do every single week, right? Monday, chest and back. Tuesday, shoulders and arms. Wednesday, legs, and then you just repeat. Shoulders and arms. Wednesday, legs. Thursday off. Friday, chest and back. Saturday, legs and arms. Simple. You hit each muscle group twice a week. You are getting in the gym, and it's not that much of a time commitment, right? If you're there for an hour every single week, you're only there for 5 hours. Think about how many hours are in a week. 168, right? That is a lot of hours in a week, and you can't spend 5 of them in the gym improving your health so you can go back and make more money at your job. If you're in a performance-based role, if you start doing this, you are going to make more money because you are going to have greater focus, greater mental energy, and greater clarity every single day to be able to put into your job. Number 4 is going to be bulking foods. Now, this might still be important, but the most important thing is, again, the foundation. This right here, your foundation, these are bulking foods within itself, but some other foods you can add in that are going to truly take it to the next level. And if you really have fast metabolism, high metabolism, this is also what you should be doing every single day in order to actually put on muscle and to get to that caloric surplus. Whatever your number is that we broke down earlier, once you get there, it's easy to stay there once you figure out what foods you need to eat on an every single day basis. So some bulking foods that you can have every single day is going to be, number 1, cooking in butter or beef tallow. Right? If you are cooking in butter, it's going to add about 200 calories every single day. And this is good calories. What people say about butter is bullshit. They're wrong. They don't know what they're talking about. Would you rather eat your food in clean source of butter than in seed oils? Right? Do not eat your food in seed oils. Whatever you cook your food in, it's going to get on the food. Your food is going to absorb it, and that's just how it's going to be. And so if you're cooking in seed oils, you are killing your testosterone, and you're going to be estrogenic, and you're going to have man tits. We don't want man tits. We want to be jacked and shredded. So you got to cook all your meals in butter or beef tallow. When I was really bulking up, I was cooking everything in butter. Now I switched to beef tallow because I do think it's a little bit of a cleaner source, but it doesn't matter, right? Cooking in butter is going to be the best thing to actually add a little bit more calories to all your meals. And then additionally, get more healthy fats to increase that testosterone level, right? A lot of this whole equation about being jacked and shredded is having higher tests. Because when you have higher testosterone, you are able to build muscle and burn fat way quicker than at any other rate. And this was what I was struggling. When I was super skinny, my test was just low, right? I wasn't eating the right foods. I wasn't going to the gym. I was jacking off. I was doing the wrong things, right? And that was killing my testosterone. So once I started to focus on how can I increase my test? How can I bulk up a little bit? That is when everything changed, right? And when I started eating a lot of foods, and I was eating like 4,500 calories a day, but I never got fat. I never got overweight. And it's because I had higher testosterone, and that allowed me to get jacked and shredded. Okay, so you got to start cooking all your foods in butter. It's a great way to increase your testosterone. Another thing you can do to increase your testosterone while bulking up is going to be drinking raw milk. And the reason why you want to be drinking raw milk is for 3 different reasons, right? A lot of the milk that people buy today is pasteurized, meaning it takes out a lot of the minerals, the vitamins, and the essential amino acids that your body needs to produce more testosterone, right? And so if you're not getting those amino acids and you're drinking pasteurized milk, you're just shooting yourself in the foot. When I was super skinny, I always thought whole milk was the way. Drinking whole milk, that's gonna get me there. But then I noticed my skin was bumpy, I had acne, and I just felt unconfident because my skin was fucked up, right? And so I was like, yeah, I know it's because of the milk. But now I switched to raw milk and it changed everything, right? Raw milk also has cholesterol, which is the precursor to testosterone, right? If you think cholesterol is bad, it's been disproved so many times, right? There's good cholesterol and then there's LDL cholesterol, which is a lot of the foods of like bacon, fast food, bullshit, processed foods, cookies, cake. That's what you want to stay away from. Good cholesterol is things like ground beef, eggs, rice, raw milk, right? That is what you want to go towards. And raw milk is a great bulking food, right? 160 calories in a cup. I would never recommend you guys to drink more than 2 cups a day. 1 to 2 is fine. If you start drinking more than 2, it can be bad. And you also, really, your diet should be completely locked in when you are drinking raw milk. You should really be on this, only eating fruits and avocados as well, and then drinking this as well. Other part of the equation is staying shredded, and how you do that is by walking for 30 minutes every single day, right? If you're in a 9 to 5, you're a skinny guy, and you're putting on weight, you're putting in your work, right? What you want to do is you want to stay shredded, right? And the best way to stay shredded is by walking. Not only is walking great for burning fat, but it's also great for lowering your cortisol, right? If you walk outside for 30 minutes a day, your cortisol is going to be lower, you're going to get vitamin D, you're going to burn fat, you're going to get shredded just through walking, right? A lot of people think, oh, I need to go for runs and I need to join a run club. Don't do that. That is stupid. And the reason why that is stupid is because running is catabolic, right? Unless you are sprinting, like full speed at your highest capacity sprinting, that is anabolic. But running, like jogging, it's literally catabolic, right? It raises your cortisol. You want to be doing things that are anabolic. And walking for 30 minutes a day is something that lowers your cortisol and helps you burn fat and get shredded. Now, the best time to walk is after your meals, right? And the reason why is because after a meal, typically you're lethargic, typically, you feel a little fat, you feel a little, you know what I'm saying? But when you walk for 30 minutes a day, you are able to digest your food quicker, or when you walk right after your meals, you're able to digest your food quicker, so you're digesting your food, you won't feel as much brain fog, you get shredded, you get outside, you get vitamin D, you lower your cortisol. So many important benefits to getting shredded, to raising your testosterone, and to being the man that you're supposed to be and doing anabolic things, right? Getting jacked and shredded is all about being anabolic. It's all about raising your testosterone. And that comes through doing things that are going to lower your cortisol and increase your testosterone and allow you to burn fat. Okay, so if you are working a 9 to 5, the best times for me when I go on my walks is I'll have my lunch and then I'll go on a 15-minute walk after my lunch, right? Typically, everybody gets an hour for their lunch. If you get 30 minutes for your lunch, you can eat your lunch in 30, you can eat your lunch in 15 and then go for a 15-minute walk around the building, whatever you need to do. It's going to just be great to decompress, to lower your cortisol, to lower your stress, to get outside, to connect with nature, to burn fat, right? The best thing you can do. Do not go out and join a run club, right? That's going to cut into your time to train. That's going to cut into your being anabolic, and it's going to cause you to be catabolic, right? We want to be anabolic. Being catabolic is basically your body going into a high cortisol stressful mode. You don't want to do that, right? That is why you want to wake up, not look at your phone because your cortisol is highest in the morning, right? And this is also going to raise your cortisol if you join a run club or if you start jogging every single day. Don't do that shit, okay? After your meals, just go for a 15-minute walk. And if it's too hard for you to go for a 15-minute walk after your meals, after you train, low intensity, steady state cardio for 15 minutes. That is the fat burning zone when you are in low intensity, steady state cardio, which is basically just walking. Like you can walk on a little incline at about of a 2 to 3 pace, okay? So this is all the things you guys can do every single day to get jacked and shredded, right? This is the foundation. Your house should be built on a strong foundation. If it's not built on a strong foundation, the wind is gonna come and knock it over, right? And when I was super skinny, I didn't have a strong foundation. I did not, right? My foundation was poor because of my diet. My diet was poor, right? I was eating whatever I want. I was eating ice cream. I was eating cereal. I was eating Eggos. I was eating bullshit foods, protein shakes, protein powders. That was never going to get me to my goals. And so once I switched my foundation to ground beef, to focus on increasing my testosterone, to eating 100% natural whole foods, that is what allowed me to stop being such a skinny soy boy and to actually start to get jacked and shredded. So I know all of you guys out here who are working at 9 to 5 want to be jacked and shredded, right? It's going to give you more respect in your job. People are going to look at you a little bit different from everybody else because, oh, this guy actually puts in work outside of work too. He deserves respect. Okay, this guy actually is focused when he's at work. He has high energy when he's at work. He deserves more money. It's simple, right? So if you want to perform better in your job, perform better outside your job, and that is how you do it through this house, through this foundation right here. And if you want someone to give you one-on-one training, one-on-one coaching to be able to reach that goal way quicker, click the link in my bio. We can hop on a one-on-one call, see if you're a good fit for my program. You'll have everything laid out right in front of you, and you'll have this foundation in this house built for you, and all you need to do is follow it. Without further ado, it is your man, Tyler James. Like, comment, subscribe. Please let me know your thoughts on the video below, and I will see you guys on the next one.